This video is about when the Pawn Stars get scammed. Reality TV show Pawn Stars are very experienced in what they do. However, just because the Pawn Stars are good at what they do, doesn't mean they've never had the experience of a strong defeat. In this video, we'll be covering some interesting moments in Pawn Star history, where the Pawn Stars get scammed. But before we begin, we hope you guys stay until the end, as you won't want to miss out on what we have to say. Also consider subscribing to our channel and clicking that notification bell to never miss an upload. Jaw-dropping and gob-stopping. The day Rick Harrison got scammed. Die-hard fans of the show may be well aware that Rick Harrison is a huge Willy Wonka fan who collects rare and valuable memorabilia. Well, any good scammer knows their mark too. And so it should come as little surprise that the scam which worked most effectively on Rick concerned a Willy Wonka prop, the everlasting gobstopper.
Is it the everlasting gobstopper?
Yeah.
That's the real deal?
I'm even getting chills holding it.
It's like the Hope Diamond.
What is so interesting about this is that the gobstopper was in fact genuine. The crafty customer simply used Harrison's enthusiasm to lever a much higher price from him. Harrison paid a whopping $105,000 for the everlasting gobstopper and an original Willy Wonka bar prop. This was the moment that sealed his fate. Rick Harrison was about to lose a lot of money. So how much did he lose? Well, when he checked the websites, which listed the past sale prices, Harrison found that the everlasting gobstoppers have been sold within the past few years around $40,000 to $42,000, while the Willy Wonka bars were worth just $17,000. That's a potential loss of $46,000. Ouch. One giant mistake after another. Corey Harrison. Corey Harrison has had his fair share of disappointing deals. When he was just 18 years old, he started working the night shift at his family's pawn shop in Vegas. The ever-vigilant scammers of the City of Sin must have put out a word too, because Corey experienced a hellish week in which he bought not one or two, but 6 fake Rolexes from shady dealers. This cost the shop $4,000. A costly series of mistakes to be sure, but we're sure that the reputational damage was far worse than the slight dent in their profits. The Willie Mays incident, however, was much more serious. In 2012, Corey shelled out $31,000 for what he believed to be a game-worn San Francisco Giants uniform from the 1960s, supposedly belonging to Willie Mays. The red flags soon began to be noticed. However, Chumley noticed that the uniform was in pristine condition, almost as if it had never been worn at all. And the seller had no authentication paperwork at all. It was later sold for $19,000 at an auction, but the shame did not end there. It was later found out that not only was the uniform not game-worn, but it didn't even belong to Willie Mays. That's a curveball. The Wells Fargo Fandango. Rick Harrison buys his own ball and chain. Rick Harrison is one of the most experienced members of the Pawn Stars family, and so this entry is a real surprise. Not only did Rick drop the proverbial ball on this deal, but he went into it with his eyes open as he pretty much accused the customer of trying to sell him a fake. So what exactly happened? Well, in season 5, Rick was approached by a customer looking to sell a 19th century Wells Fargo strongbox, which contained a set of antique prison manacles attached with ball and chain. He was uncertain, to put it lightly, but nonetheless forked out $450 for what the fabled Beard of Knowledge Mark Hall Patton, who dubbed it a complete fantasy piece.
I have a book signed by Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Shoeless, signatureless, hopeless. The bad forgery that Rick bought. Shoeless Joe Jackson is one of the biggest names in American baseball history, and his signatures sell for huge amounts of money. So it's understandable that when a customer walks into the gold and silver pawn shop with a book that seems to be signed by him, Rick Harrison was understandably amazed and excited. You see, Joe Jackson's signatures are so rare for 2 reasons: the brevity of his career, cut short by the Black Sox scandal, and of course the fact that Shoeless Joe was illiterate. Rick even mentioned that he knew Jackson's signature to be the most likely forged, and yet he consulted no experts and paid out $13,000 to own the book. In short, Rick's hype got to him. When he later did consult experts, he was told that not only was it a forgery, but a laughable bad one. There's one for the books. Picture perfect diamonds. The old man loses out. The old man, Richard Harrison, has seen it all, done it all, and lost his fair share in the pawn industry. You see, even someone this experienced can be fooled when they come up against an entirely new enemy. The old man was in the business when CZ or cubic zirconia first skidded into the jewelry scene, and like many other pawn shop owners, he lost big time due to the fact that these man-made gems can pass as diamonds. Harrison estimated that he lost around $40,000 to cubic zirconia scams in the late 70s and early 80s before he caught gotten onto the trick of recognizing them. However, in a truly gentleman fashion, he went on to create a PSA which told others how they too could recognize these most authentic of fakes. As a result, CZ scammers began to find that they were the ones out of pocket. What a champion. Girls' best friends. Rick Harrison's biggest bust. Diamond and jewelry are tempting to would-be thieves for looking for a big sale on small, easy hidden items. This is why it's common pawn shop practice to ask questions and fill out various forms before buying high-value jewelry. So, did Rick fail to do this? The answer is no. This is one of those times when the scammer was simply too smart to be caught out. When a well-dressed, well-spoken man entered the gold and silver pawn shop with a set of truly huge diamond earrings, Rick was understandably dubious. However, the man had all the answers, all the evidence, and was even able to produce a receipt as proof of his purchase. Everything seemed to be entirely above board, and so Rick shelled out a whopping $40K on the admittedly excellent diamond earrings. What went wrong? 3 days later, the cops showed up. Rick had bought hot or stolen goods from a skilled thief and fraudster. While the earrings were returned to the owner eventually, and the thief was found, the money was long gone. Rick underlines this incident as the biggest bust he's ever personally experienced. Gold down the drain. The time the Pawn Stars scammed themselves. Finally, there was one time when the Pawn Stars actually did themselves out of money. When a woman came to the store with a collection of valuable gold coins, she did pretty well out of them. The Pawn Stars gave her $12,000 for them. However, they later found out that she had stolen them from her uncle. This is bad enough for the Stars' profit margin, but wait till you hear what happened next. The woman's uncle was unable to get his coins back. Why? Because the Pawn Stars decided to melt them down in order to make more money by simply selling the total gold count. Yikes. Worse still, it turned out that collection was actually worth $50,000, or so, as it contained rare coins such as silver Morgan coins from the 1880s and contemporary 1-ounce American Buffalo gold coins. The niece of the owner, however, was caught and served time for a misdeed, during which she didn't even have a good deal. So it just seems like everyone in the scenario got thoroughly scammed.
I have a Gibson mandolin.
Mind if I play a couple tones?
Sure, absolutely.
Time to face the music. Chumlee. In Season 4, Face the Music, Chumlee was left alone to take control of the shop. That was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 came along when a scummy little customer came to sell off his vintage Gibson mandolin he found at a garage sale. Chumlee made sure to inspect the guitar before putting an offer, but the result shows that Chumlee had no idea what he was doing. The seller managed to walk away with $1,500, despite Chumlee's purchase limit of $1,000.
15 sounds fair. I can make a
15?
profit.
All right, that sounds good. I appreciate it.
Put another one in the wing column for Chumlee. Rick's probably gonna give me a raise after he sees this. Hey, check out what I brought down today.
And that's strike 3. They went ahead and had the guitar properly appraised by his instrument expert, and out came the red flags. The original decal was cut into and replaced. The finish was made out of plastic, and the pick guard wasn't even mandolin approved, among other things. In the end, the guitar was only worth $100 on a good day.
Okay.
It's a 1961 Fender Stratocaster.
The Fender Stratocaster is up there with the most iconic rock guitars in history. So where did you get this thing?
This guitar's been with me for years. I've worked on records with
The Vic Flick Miss. Not all scams in the pawn shop are intentional, as we see in a Season 12 episode when the legendary guitarist Rick Flick would stop by the shop to offer his 1961 Fender Stratocaster guitar. He's not exactly a household name, but trust, you've probably heard a tune or two by Flick in your lifetime. Because of this, Rick Harrison overestimated the value of Flick's name and his guitar when he purchased the Stratocaster for $55,000.
We take 50 grand for it.
Did you go 60?
I will go $55,000. All right.
Deal. Yeah, okay. I knew he'd probably go for 55, and I'm happy. Now I've got the money in my back pocket, I think the wife and I will just pop out for a beer or two and celebrate the occasion.
The guitar was later marketed at $90,000 in the shop, but collected more dust than a coin over the next few years before auctioned off in 2015 for a mere $20,000. Overall, Rick took a hard loss of $35K, plus any cost to maintain and display the guitar in the shop. And with that said, that concludes just a few of the times the Pawn Stars managed to get scammed. Feel free to comment down below what you guys thought about today's video, and maybe leave a like if you enjoyed. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to see more film-focused videos similar to this one in the near future. And have yourselves an excellent day.